I can't tell you how delighted and what a pleasure it is for me to kick off the inaugural U.S. Superyacht Association Superyacht Summit. Just to say those words kind of gives me some goosebumps. And I need to tell you, when I walked in the room for the first time with Kitty, we came up on the stage, she got quite emotional because I got to tell you, since announcing the kickoff at FLIBS, for those who were there in the afternoon, when we did a little bit of a release on the first afternoon of FLIBS and said we'd be doing this, I got to tell you, from 4 months to now, there's an awful lot of work that's gone on by an awful lot of people, and most of those people are sitting in this room. So while you're attendees, you've also been participants, volunteers, you'll be speakers during the course of the next couple of days, and I just want to start off by thanking all of you, because without all of you, we wouldn't be sitting here today. So it's really terrific to be able to open this up and say those words, I got to tell you. Now, you can hear that, I normally have a raspy voice, so many of you are saying, well, that's just John. Well, I do have some congestion, but unlike Bob Costas at the Olympics, I'm not going to quit tonight. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. I can assure you of that, because I wouldn't miss this for the world. I'm particularly delighted because this is a milestone event, and you don't get opportunities very often. I've been in business so long, I forget how long, but you don't get an opportunity too frequently to be in the inaugural milestone event. This really is a milestone event. This will not be the last one. This will be the first one. And it's really taking us down a different track. U.S. Superyacht Association was formed 7 years ago, as many of you know, because many of you in the room were part of that formation. 7 years ago, we had a mission that was twofold. Number one, to really promote the superyacht market in the United States. The second reason for being was to advocate on its behalf. And we've been doing that for 7 years. We're doing something different in our 8th year. We're doing something additional, I should say. And that's really about what I call continuing education for our members. This is a global market. It's about a $30 billion market. You'll hear some more numbers shortly from Michael Reardon in the pulse of the industry when they get up here. But we are number one in this industry. We do about $6 billion. It's about a 20 share of the global market. And that's almost twice as much as any other country does. So we're a big player in this industry. But you know what? What I learned a long time ago is that competitive advantage is very fleeting. You can have a competitive advantage today, and it's gone tomorrow. You need to constantly be learning, looking at the market, adapting to technology and trends, and that's what we need to do. As leaders of this association, as leaders of of our companies, broadly here in the United States, we need to keep doing that. So we've taken on, back in October, the board got together, we all swore in blood that we're willing to go down this road. We're willing to try and bring our members value added through what I call continuing education. So that's the key reason that we're here today, is to do that. Let me just pause there for a moment, because we have a tradition at our annual meeting that we start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Last night I had dinner with a couple of our members, a couple of our board members. One of them was Rick Gladich. And Rick kind of got choked up at dinner when I said, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance tomorrow to start off this event. And so I want Rick to get up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Rick Gladich.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I suspect there are a few countries around the globe that people would be more than pleased to be able to do that, particularly when we see what happened Sunday in Crimea in Ukraine. Very sad state of affairs. Our hearts go out to those people, and hopefully we get a nonviolent resolution there. But as long as we can stand before the U.S. flag, we will continue to do that, as it's a testament to our freedom. I'm going to be your MC for the event over the course of the next day and a half. And as I said, unless, God willing and a fair breeze, I can do that. I won't bail out on you this evening. And it is satisfying to be here. It's satisfying to kick the event off because it is a milestone event, because we are breaking some ground with a different strategy, a different purpose for the U.S. Superyacht Association. And I know so many of you, came from afar. You worked very hard. We have a boat show that many of us are participating in, just starting in a couple of days. But we thought this was the time and the place to get this going, and we'll be looking for you to not just be here and participate and listen, but to participate. And I think that's the watchword here, is that we're looking for your participation, your feedback. We're looking for your expertise to be shared with other companies in this room. With that, I just want to say one other thing as we get going here. It takes human resources, the resources in this room, Kitty and Nauticom and her team, our members who are helping to put this on. It also takes financial resources. And I'd just like to mention here at the outset and thank our major sponsors, because you really can't put these events on without them. We're truly very happy and grateful for them doing it. First off, I want to acknowledge our Admiral sponsor, Jim Perry. Jim, just get up for 1 minute. Jim did double and triple duty. Jim has been our chairman of the inaugural summit, and he has been working with Kitty nonstop for the last 4 months in between his law practice. We're just delighted that he's done that, because he's really brought all this together with Kitty and her team and all of you in this room. And we're very grateful for that, as well as being our Admiral sponsor. Our lunch sponsor tomorrow, and he came, well, we're going to say it's a tie. I thought Ken Hickling came the furthest to come here from London, from the UK. Ken, stand up and just be acknowledged. Ken Hickling from Algrip. He shares that distinction, and I think if we take, the arc into effect, maybe Ken beat out Nick Hill, but Nick came from Antibes, and Nick, we appreciate your coming all the way from Antibes. Thank you very much. Our break sponsors, where's Trip Nelson? I think he's back there. Lex Seal, Raven Offshore Yacht Shipping. That's Rick Gladich again, Rick. And Yachts International. I don't know if anybody's here from Yachts International. I didn't see anybody. Okay, but thank you very much for being our break sponsors. With that, I want to say a few words and kind of put the summit in context. If we could go to the first slide. Here's what I hope you get out of this. 3 things that the board and the committee, Jim and I, really want you to take away from this initial summit. We certainly want you to make sure that, as I say, that your continuous education means you're getting knowledge here. You're getting some expertise. You're getting some best practices that you can take back to your office and put into practice, either with yourself, personally, as a manager, leader of this industry, or with your association, your organization. If you can't do that, then these couple of days won't have really served its purpose, because we need to make sure that you get that. That's what this is designed to do. Secondly, we want you to acquire information about the superyacht market. I just told you it's about a $30 billion industry globally. How many people knew that? Order of magnitude. We can quibble about the numbers, but order of magnitude. And that the U.S. has a 20 share market. How many people kind of know that from one source or another? A lot of data out there. So, I pulled data from a lot of people. That way I don't have checkable claims. That's what good marketing people do. They make sure they draw on a lot of different data so that you can't question them. Isn't that right, Bert? That way we can never go back to Bert and say, hey, where'd you get that number? Well, I got it from here, I got it from there, got it from a lot of different places. But regardless of what the number is, order of magnitude, we want to give you information that you can use in your business. And finally, we want to give you the opportunity for social interaction. And I think that the 15, 20-minute delay that we had an opening here this morning probably gave you more time to do that, but that was real good time. I saw that as quality time. People weren't sitting kind of bored on their cell phones. They were interacting. They were looking. We got plenty of opportunity to do that during the course of the next couple of days, and that's the third objective. I have one other, so those are the objectives that we have for you and we want you to take away. I have one for you as participants. I want you to celebrate with us the U.S. Superyacht Association's 7th year in existence. Because in 7 years, we did all that. And I say we because this is a volunteer organization. We have terrific committees. We have a terrific board. Every time we ask for volunteers, we ask for sponsorship, people come forward. And that's why we've been able to do things. That's why we've been able to grow from the 12 apostles meeting back in 2006 and forming this. And I see Karen back there. Karen was one of those apostles. And David Reed is there. We have a lot of other apostles who were here then. We now have close to 300 members, the U.S. Superyacht Association. We have a marketing campaign, Come See Us, that's resonating, that people understand. We took that on the road this year to Monaco and Metz and other places. We have events, as you know, in the builders and designers tents now. I think we have the most square footage in there, if I'm not mistaken, with the U.S. Superyacht Association exhibit booth. We do networking events in different places. We have a structure that's now incorporated 8 regions around the country, and most recently in the Caribbean. And I don't know if Tom got here. Did Tom make it, Bert? He's not here yet. Okay. Tom is a new board member, and he's our U.S. Caribbean region board member. Our advocacy efforts, One Voice, we've gotten a lot done in 7 years as it pertains to particularly entry issues, particularly foreign flag boats coming to the United States. In my store, I used to hear 8, 9 years ago, captains whine, and I know Teddy's here, so I'll say they would come in and whine to me about difficulties in getting into the U.S., either with the Coast Guard or Customs, having the wrong visas, with the State Department. We fixed a lot of those things. They're ongoing problems. That's why we have the Donna Bradburys and BWAs of the world, and the yacht management companies and support companies helping the boats get into the U.S. We need to develop that concept more because it's, you know, we still need to have those boats have help when they come to the United States. But we've made a lot of progress. We have contacts in Washington. We were just there 3 weeks ago as we've taken on more initiatives that you'll hear about if you go to the advocacy breakout session over the course of the next couple of days, because we need your input and feedback to those sessions to make sure that we're on the right track. So that's what we're celebrating, and I think we can all take pride in what we've gotten to here. But where do we go next? Every association, organization, company is always looking forward. What are we going to look like in 3 years when we're 10 years old? What do we want to have accomplished? The board this year, as one of our objectives, is going to be doing some planning for the next 3 years. I would urge you to make sure that you talk to the board members and make sure that they hear where you want to go, where you, our members, want the board and yourselves to take us over the next 3 years. What's the focus going to be? We'll have a vision that we craft together and co-create. We need then to focus on certain initiatives, and I know that we have the passion. We don't lack for any passion in this association. It's shown every time that we meet. It's shown at our events, and we don't have to worry about that. So if everybody would take that on as your personal objective to get to one of our board members and make sure that you let them know what initiatives you want us to chase, what we want to be focused on, and what our vision should be over the next few years. I know in the room right now, Tim Davies here. Tim, just raise your hand. Peter Schrappen, Bert Fowles, Karen Blake, Jim Perry, we've mentioned. Jim Ruffalo, I saw Jim there. Rick Gladich, you've met. Trip Nelson is here. Billy Smith is here. Billy, thank you for getting in here. Christina Norris is here. I saw Derek walk in, Derek Wagner. Derek, thank you. And of course, all of Kitty's team. Julie and Julie, not to confuse Julie Sachs with Julie Katz. Kaylin Konchik and Christina Meyer are here as well, Kitty's team. So let us know what you need us to do for you as members of the association as we get together as a board and kind of craft the next 3 years. With that, I'm just going to go to my final slide, which talks about the summit programs and activities. We have 22 discrete sessions we have over the course of the next 30 hours. That's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff to communicate. It's a lot of stuff for you to try and internalize. Make sure, as I said earlier, that you're trying to glean. Frank and I were talking earlier about 3 or 4 things that you might take back for yourself to put into practice your association. If you do that, it'll be a worthwhile 30 hours. Also, make sure that you take advantage of the networking opportunities. You know, if you do those things, I think it will have been a very successful inaugural event. And I look forward to sharing that with you.